So I debated on whether or not I should post this video. Not because I'm ashamed, but mainly because I'm more of a private person. However, my friends keep telling me that I need to write a book about my dating experiences in Atlanta. So instead of it being a book, I guess we're going to do like a vlog and post about it. So I had been talking to this gentleman for about 2 weeks, and he scheduled a date for us today, and I turn up at the restaurant at said time, at the scheduled time, and I get to the restaurant and they tell me that the reservation has been canceled. So I call the gentleman, I get no response, immediately goes to voicemail. I text him, no response. I look on the app that we met at, and he has unmatched me, and I realize that he has blocked me. So I got stood up. So this is why I always tell women it's very important to have your own money when you go out. So I still had dinner, no problem, still ate dinner and all that. But yeah, I got stood up for absolutely no reason. And I had just spoke with him earlier today, and he talked about how excited he was to meet me in person. Yet I got stood up and blocked. So welcome to Dating in Atlanta Over 40 edition.
Well, baby, before we get into your follow-up clip, all I have to say is welcome to being a man. I'm not calling you a man, baby. I'm just saying this is what men deal with all the time. This happens even with my show, the Atlanta Noir podcast. Plug it. You guys can check it out. It'll be linked in the description for you guys to check it out. So, for example, I book guests for the podcast I have. And one guest, I spoke to her an hour before, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm on the way. Everything's good to go. Time comes by, doesn't show up. Text her, doesn't answer. Call her, doesn't answer. But still follows me on Instagram and looking at all my stories and all that stuff like that, which is weird. Another guess. I talked to her an hour before. She's like, yeah, everything's good to go. I'm on the way. See you soon. 5 minutes later, hey, I'm going to have to cancel. This is what women do, right? Women do this stuff even on dates. Guys go through this stuff all the time. So, baby, all I'm saying is welcome to being a man. Women really don't care. Women are on some other stuff. It is what it is. But let's get into the follow-up video and see what happened, though. Let's see what she's talking about.
So, good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. I am amazed at all of the comments and views on that video that I got talking about being stood up in Atlanta. So, I see there was a lot of comments. I'm going to try to address them all, but the common theme was that I didn't deserve that, his loss. Thank you all so much for your kindness, for your words and words of encouragement. As you can see on my hat, I'm just gonna pray about it. I mean, it's all good. I'm not hurt at all. I'm more disappointed in the fact that someone wasted my time. And like I said, kindness. If you were not interested, all you had to do was be kind and cancel the date. That would have been the simplest and kindest thing to do as a human being, because we all deserve kindness. I know there was a comment from one gentleman, I'm not going to call out his name, but he stated there's probably something that I did. Absolutely not. There's nothing that I could have done to deserve to be stood up and embarrassed by someone that I've not even met in person. Even if you are dating a person, no one deserves to be stood up. Just simply be an adult and communicate and cancel the date. And then there was another comment by another gentleman that said, communication. You're absolutely right. Communication is key. All you had to do was simply send a text message and cancel. He didn't have to give an explanation at all. He could have just canceled. So I wouldn't have wasted my time actually driving, getting dressed, putting in the energy to be presentable for this date and show up for this date. So this is part one, part two of that video from last night, just to go off of some of those responses. But I'll make another video going back into a bit more detail about how the whole situation got up to this. Again, thank you all so much for your kind and encouraging words and for making me feel super beautiful last night. That truly means a lot. You don't know me. This is the internet. You all could have been very nasty and very mean, but you all were kind. So the key takeaway from this is just be kind to people and also learn how to communicate effectively, especially if you are out here dating. No man, no woman deserves to get stood up. No matter what your sexual orientation is, no one deserves to get stood up and to be embarrassed and for someone to treat them unkindly. Just be kind to people. It's not that hard.
I definitely agree with that message. No one deserves to be stood up. Communication definitely is key. Shouldn't be flaking on folks. Ladies, I want you to know, because I think many of the times this is very rare with guys. Women do this all the time. That everything she explained, the amount of work that goes into it, sometimes you have to take off. Sometimes maybe you were going to meet someone else. You decide to get ready. You drove to meet this person. Maybe you spent money to meet this person, and they don't have the decency to tell you that they're not going to make it. They just don't show up. It's disrespectful. When someone disrespects your time, they're disrespecting you, and they should never get a second chance to do it again. That is it. They're basically giving you the middle finger at this point. If you've been through it, because this happened to me, y'all know I've said this a few times. It's happened to me, and I had someone ask me, well, you're handsome. Women do that to you? Yeah, women do that. The looks don't matter. It doesn't matter how you look. Women will do it. It's communication. Communication is important now. And this is one thing I'm going to talk to you ladies about, right? Communication is important. You always say you want communication from men. But women, and I think women know this about themselves, and it's not going on a bashing spree, but you are some of the worst communicators. And this is what I want you to learn from this. There's nothing wrong if you open up the doors to communicate with someone and you agree to something. At least if you're not going to see it through, let them know. Don't have someone showing up somewhere and you just at home laughing about it, or don't give a damn, or I forgot. It's ridiculous. It's childish. A lot of this stuff is very passive aggressive. Women don't want confrontation. They don't want to be cursed out. They don't want to be. It's not even that. It's about being an adult. This, especially if someone's taking you out on a date, someone's spending their money to meet you, to engage with you, and you just like, screw them. I'm a firm believer in karma, though. That's why I don't trip off a lot of stuff. When people do things, it frustrates you, then you're like, yo, they'll get it back, man. I'm not tripping off. Because if somebody conducts themselves like that, they conduct themselves like that in other arenas. And it's going to come back on you when you disrespect people like that are just being nice. And you wonder why sometimes when things happen to you. Just my thoughts, guys. I don't know. I could be off on this one, but I'm just speaking for the people who have dealt with this, and they just wonder, why do people do this? Sometimes there just aren't good people out there. And I do mean that. Well, you can't judge somebody. Yes, I can. Because chances are it's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time they do that. Don't waste someone's time. The most valuable thing you can give someone is time. The most valuable thing you can give someone is time. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. Listen, it's your favorite everything. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.